Hi lovelies, I'm Ariel and this is Maven Unmasked and welcome to your Lightworker Evolution reading for March of 2017. Happy to have you here. I am happy to be here so we can continue to see how we are evolving and developing spiritually on our journey as Lightworkers, as empaths, as human beings, spiritual beings. This month I will be using the Lumina Tarot. I really love this deck. I think it's the perfect deck for these readings, so I'm going to continue to use this one specifically for the Lightworker Evolution readings. These were formerly my reflections and intentions videos. If you hadn't seen those before, I do have a playlist of those where we used to kind of take a look back on what had happened in the previous month and where we're heading in the next month. And this is just kind of a different spin on that, so it has more focus. That was more of an open reading style kind of thing. If you'd like to get a reading with me, please check out my website, mavenunmasked.com. I do have a blog over there. Lately we've been talking about spirit guides, Spirit Guides 101, and just answering some questions and some questions to ask your spirit guides, and all of that is over on the blog. So let's go ahead and get started. I ask everyone to take a deep breath with me in through your nose and out through your mouth. And center yourself, ground yourself, settle into your body. Call in your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones in spirit to be here with us at the moment. The World card just fell out. I felt like I really needed to share that as we're connecting to the all, to each other. And this will be our Lightworker Evolution reading for March of 2017. So what were we working on last month? Where are we right now? What are we evolving towards this month? What new spiritual discoveries will be made? Spiritual challenges, messages and advice from our angels and guides? And what does our higher self need from us this month? And I just want to get a really good shuffle on these. Really good shuffle, really good shuffle. Okay, so we're ready. Okay. Okay, so what were we working on last month? Where are we right now? What are we evolving towards this month of March? What new spiritual discoveries will be made? Spiritual challenges, messages and advice from our angels and our guides, and what does our higher self need from us this month of March? Very interesting. Okay, and the shadow card for this month is the Three of Wands. So about expansion and looking at the world with new eyes, expanding your view, exploring, being adventurous. Okay, being in alignment, keeping your eyes open for opportunities, options, places you can take action. And there's the three, and we have another three card in here. So remember, I believe it was last month, it was the three. Definitely with some of the other readings in February. So I love how that kind of continues into this month. So the first card is, what were we working on in February last month? And we have the Ace of Swords. So new ideas, gaining clarity. For some of us, this may have been learning to speak our truth, learning to express ourselves in the manner that we wish to, cutting those restraints, cutting those fearful boundaries of expressing ourselves. It also very much feels like working with spiritual protection, particularly Archangel Michael. It also feels like cutting energetic cords, negative energetic cords that may have been draining your energy from you. So definitely working on that last month. So where are we right now? We have the World card, which fell out for us when I was shuffling. And this is one of my favorites. The World card is all about connection. It's all about unity, togetherness. the collective consciousness as well as the collective unconsciousness, how everything is tied together, everything is in cycles. We are all part of the earth, we are all part of spirit, we are all energy, the similarities in everything. So right now the focus is feeling connected to others emotionally, not even just physically, like living in the same house or, you know, working with other people, but literally feeling emotionally and spiritually connected to each other and really trying to work on that and expanding that. Again, because the shadow card is the Three of Wands, about expansion. So expanding our worldview, expanding just the different ways we connect with each other. Connecting via social media isn't always the best way to do that. So reaching out and calling somebody, trying to feel connected, because I also feel like for some of us in February, especially in the end of February, around the new moon solar eclipse in Pisces, we have a lot of planets in Pisces right now, and some of us may be feeling kind of off our rockers, like not feeling fully grounded, not being able to really grasp concepts or grasp this clarity. It's like some of this clarity was brought to us, and then it's kind of, you know, this Piscean energy has kind of maybe shifted the way we've seen things a little bit, or brought more clarity to our awareness by bringing up some emotional things. So but definitely trying to work on feeling more connected to everything and everyone, getting out of our own heads so much, and being more in the present, being more mindful, living more mindfully in the present. So the next card is, what are we evolving towards this month of March? And we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is about decision making. It's about choices. So, you know, we've had this clarity in February, some of us may have, and now it's like you've connected with spirit, you know, you feel like maybe this is the right choice for you and your path, and now it's time for a decision to be made. You know, which path do you choose? I definitely am feeling that in this decision-making process, really going within, kind of blocking out all the external noise and some of the mind chatter as well, and really focus on where you can express yourself most clearly, because that was so important in February, expressing yourself, your feelings, your emotions, getting in touch with those with cooler, calmer energy, gaining that mental clarity, and as well as making sure whatever decision you make, you will feel secure and safe in that. You feel like it will be an abundant decision for you, even if it may not be what somebody else thinks is the most safe and secure situation for you. What do you feel in your soul, in your gut, in your heart, in your mind? What is spirit telling you when it comes to making this decision? But I definitely feel like throat chakra work, root chakra work, and maybe even some crown chakra clearing will be especially helpful as we're evolving towards this decision making. This month will really be focused on figuring out, do I go left or do I go right? Do I go up or do I go down? And finding that balance, because the Two of Swords is also about balance. It could also be that you maybe have two ideas this month and you're not sure which idea you should develop more, and maybe you can develop both of them, but it's about learning to balance those two opposites. Okay, the next card we have is, what new spiritual discoveries will be made? And we have the Fool. And I just think this depiction of the Fool is one of the most stunning I've ever seen, ever. So free and so gorgeous, so innocent, so joyful, so pure. So the Fool is about new beginnings. It's about birthing new things. It's about really starting a whole new chapter. I mean, it's a major arcana card. This is a big new beginning. So maybe taking things to the next step in your spirituality, maybe learning a new modality, I myself am, working on developing my spiritual healing abilities. So maybe it could be something like that for some of you, or learning to read the tarot, or meditating with your third eye more. But spiritual discoveries of freedom, spiritual discoveries of breaking chains. Once this decision has been made, it really feels like this new beginning, this beautiful new start, this joyous, fertile, again, innocent, pure, leaping, bounding, blissfully happy beginning can occur. But that decision is kind of in the middle. And I think that will allow you to feel more connected here in the World card as well. The next card we have is spiritual challenges for the month of March, and we have the Hangman. So patience, people, patience and surrender as well. Relinquishing control. To stop fighting and resisting so much. It definitely feels like this has to do with, again, the decision making. Be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself, connect to spirit, and you may have to sit back and just surrender for a while and just be. Now, what do I mean by surrender? When I say surrender, I mean trusting in the universe, and that the universe knows what is for your best and highest good. Sometimes it's like when you're manifesting something or starting something new, you're working towards it so diligently that you exhaust all of your energy. Sometimes you put too much energy into it, and then you're working, or the universe can't fully allow its freedom, its full free form of expression, because you've bound it so tightly. So just be mindful of that this month as well. It's kind of like being in the middle of between a rock and a hard place a little bit this month, I'm feeling as well, in terms of our spiritual challenges. And again, I feel like that has to do with feeling more connected and making that decision, making that choice for a new beginning. Do you want to continue to do what you've always done, doing the same thing over and over and knowing what results you're going to get? Or do you want to take a leap of faith and step out into new territory? It definitely feels like with this card as well, shrugging off that winter coat, all those scarves and hats and restricted clothing. I know it hasn't been that particularly cold. It's actually hasn't felt like winter at all. It's been a very warm winter here where I am, but symbolically stripping away that stuff and really stepping out into a new beginning. Okay. Excuse me. I had a hair in my mouth. It was driving me nuts. Okay. So the next card is messages and advice from your angels and your guides. So we have the Six of Swords, and this is about transition, moving on, leaving something behind, walking away, moving on into clearer waters, clearer paths, clearer thoughts, clearer frame of mind, clearer communication as well. Particularly whenever I see this card, the swords in this card always make me think of telephone poles, going from one to another. So this makes me think of maybe you'll be transitioning in the way you communicate and the way that you speak, transitioning the way you feel, not the way you feel, but the way you communicate your feelings about certain things. Because remember, February was about gaining clarity and learning to speak your truth. It feels like our guides and our angels are encouraging us to do that, and they're encouraging us to transition and to move on into calmer waters, to move into smoother waters, to not be afraid to transition and make that change. Because remember, again, we had this Two of Swords, this decision making and this balancing act. And it also feels like as well, sometimes when you take a journey, the journey is long, and sometimes you have to make some of that journey in the middle of the night, and you can't see everything that's going on around you because it's dark. But there's still beautiful hope. There's still beautiful stars to help you light your path and find your way. I feel like these are, representative right now of our angels and our guides. I mean, that's what they're telling me anyway, is that in this journey, in this long process, there will be moments and times where you're afraid of the unknown, you're afraid of the darkness, you can't see, you don't know where you're going, you feel like you're lost and struggling and don't know how to communicate your fear or your feelings about a certain situation. Look up to the heavens and make a wish. Look up to the heavens and connect with the world, connect with your guides, connect with your angels, ask them to light your way. They always do, but do you look up to see it, or do you continue to look straight ahead into the darkness or down at your feet to make sure you don't trip? Look up to the light of the stars. Okay, so our last card this month is, what does your higher self need from you this month? So what does our higher self need from us? The Three of Cups. So higher self wants us to relax a little bit. Higher self wants us to have fun. Higher self wants us to celebrate. Part of this feels like celebrating spring. Part of this also feels like celebrating the perseverance that you have within you. Celebrating the overcoming of long journeys, the overcoming of trials and tribulations, of learning how to surrender, of learning how to communicate and open your heart, celebrating you, your accomplishments, your journey, the wins and the losses, celebrating it all. Really celebrating you and your sense of emotional prosperity, of spiritual prosperity, of taking care of yourself as much as you take care of everybody else. Sometimes we get so emotional or so wrapped up in our work, or stressed out about what we're doing, or this deadline, and how am I going to get organized, and how am I going to get everything done, and I'm not knowing where, not knowing where you really fit, or not knowing what your role is, whatever it is, not knowing where you're going to end up on the journey. But the point Spirit is trying to make is that it's okay, and to not be afraid to celebrate. Okay, still continue to celebrate. I think of pirates or sailors or something, that there's stormy seas and long voyages, but they still knew how to have a good time. Sailing wasn't easy, but they still knew how to have fun, to gather together with friends. The power of three. Again, because remember, this is our shadow card, the Three of Wands. So the power of three, working in unity, working in conjunction with Spirit to manifest, working in new partnerships for some of us, learning how to be a good partner, learning how to create that balance and that structure, and knowing that everyone is an equal. Everyone's voice deserves to be heard equally. But I am Ariel, and this has been Maven Unmasked with your Lightworker Evolution reading from March of 2017. Again, if you'd like to get a reading with me, please check out my website, mavenunmasked.com. You can book a reading with me there, or over on my Etsy shop. I also do have some workshops coming up this month, the month of March, so you can find information all about that on my Facebook page. Also, if you're signed up for my newsletter, it comes out on March 5th. That is all about our prosperity mindset, about good fortune, about luck, about abundance, all of those kinds of things. So make sure to subscribe to that. Have a great March, lovelies. Bye.